everyone, this is Amanda at Amanda's Booktopia. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. And today I have an unboxing for you guys. I have my May and June Book of the Month boxes that I have not yet opened. And I still need to. Mainly because Ray wants to get rid of boxes.
Please.
So we're going to get started.
Yay!
This is my May box, smaller than my June box. So we're going to start with the smallest box. As we dive right on into the May box, I am very excited because there's some really good books in here.
Open it faster.
I got it open, thank you very much.
Woohoo!
So the book that I used my credit on, which I'm most excited for in this box, well, one of which, there's another one that I'm excited for as well. But this one is Silver Elite by Danny Francis. There's a whole bunch of controversy trying to figure out who Danny Francis is. A lot of people say it could be either Colleen Hoover, Elsie Silver, who the heck knows. All I know is I'm excited for this book. It is dystopian fantasy romance is what I heard. What I heard mostly, it gives Divergent vibes, and I absolutely love the Divergent series. Allegiant had me crying in the end. So I'm hoping this will give me similar vibes. And this also came with pretty sprayed edges. I thought of getting the normal edition with the silver sprayed edges, but these sprayed edges I think are even prettier than the silver ones. So I'm going to stick with this one. And let me see if this, no, nothing on the actual hardback, just the sprayed edges. But I am very excited because I've been wanting to read this ever since like this became like a thing. Everyone's been raving about this book, and I really cannot wait to dive into this. And then one of my add-ons for May that I'm also super psyched about is The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner. I read every single book from this author and have really enjoyed it. My favorite by her was The London Seance Society. Absolutely loved it. That was a 5-star. And The Lost Apothecary was 4 stars. And The Conjurer's Wife, a little short story, was also 4 stars. And that one kind of leads into this book. So I'm very excited to read more of Sarah Penner's works. This one sounds amazing. It says, powerful witchcraft, a hunt for sunken treasure, forbidden love on the high seas. Beware the Amalfi Curse. So I'm excited. I'm hoping to get to this sooner rather than later, along with Silver Elite. And there's one more in this box that I'm also super psyched about, so let me show that to you. And that is A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen. This is the second book in the Fate Inked in Blood series. I'm not sure if there's a series name, but I know that Fate Inked in Blood was the first book. Absolutely loved it. Even though it was kind of predictable, I still really, really loved it. And so I'm excited to continue the journey in this book. I'm not sure if it's a duology or if it's a full series. I can't remember for sure. I heard it could be a duology, but if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember for sure. But I am very excited to get into the rest of the series. Duology or otherwise. And I cannot wait to see what happens and find out what happens to all the characters. So that is something that I do want to prioritize, hopefully in the next month or two. So May has some great books. And it also came with a bookmark. It says, it's been pages since we met. I love that. So that was it for the May box. Now let's get into the June box. And June, I'm even more excited for. Reason being, June is my birthday month. And I got one book free for my birthday. And I also had a credit that I got for free because Silver Elite was super, super late because printing issues. So I got a second free book because of that issue. And I got like 3 others that I paid for. So we got a huge box for June. So let's dive right on in, shall we? And I am super excited for this first book, because this first book is what I use my credit on, and it's the Fiction Files Book Club pick for July. And I cannot wait to read this next month in July. This is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. And I am super excited to read her newest book. I have read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Gallant, and was there anything else I read from her? Well, those are the two books that I have read. Gallant was a 5-star. Addie LaRue was like a 4-star, 4.5, somewhere around there. So I cannot wait to see what happens in this one. All I know is that we have 3 different timelines that somehow come together in the end. And I cannot wait. This is going to be so fun. I'm so excited. And then the next book that is an add-on that it was also one of the main picks, but I decided to get it as an add-on, is The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. I saw this in Target with sprayed edges, and I'm like, ooh, sprayed edges. But I don't want to spend my money on a book with really pretty sprayed edges if I haven't read it yet, and because if I don't love it, I don't want to spend my money on a sprayed edge copy. So I want to try this out first before I decide I want to buy the sprayed edges. So I'm excited to see if I'm going to like this. So this is a thriller that takes place in June of 1975. And the main character is supposed to be ghostwriting her father's last book. And I'm excited to see what happens. And it says, after 50 years of silence, Vincent Taylor is finally ready to talk about what really happened that night in 1975. So all I know is about this Taylor family during that, what happened in 1975. And I kind of want to go in mostly blind in this one, because this one sounds like something I think it'd be better to go in blind with. So I'm trying not to read too much into it. But I'm very excited to read The Ghostwriter. I'm hoping very soon. Maybe I'll even read it this month, because right now I'm doing Camp Nightmare. So this could work perfect for Camp Nightmare. And it sounds really interesting, and I'm very excited to dive on into this book. So I might jump into this one before the month is out. So if I do, I'll share all my thoughts at the end of the month. So I'm super excited for this. And then another add-on that I paid for. I was going to get this the month before, but I decided to wait. And that is Aftertaste by Daria Lavelle. And I wanted to wait a little bit before I got this to hear like reviews on it. And I've been hearing nothing but great things. So this sounds really interesting. And it had stuff about paranormal and food stuff. So I'm like, ooh, interesting. It says Konstantin Du Hovny is a haunted man. His father died when he was 10, and ghosts have been hovering around him ever since. Kostya can't exactly see the ghosts, but he can taste their favorite foods. Flavors of meals he's never eaten will flood his mouth, a sign that a spirit is present. He's kept these aftertastes a secret for most of his life, but one night he decides to act on what he's tasting, and everything changes. Kostya discovers that he can reunite people with their departed loved ones just for one last meal. Convinced that his life's purpose is to serve closure to grieving strangers, he sets out to learn all he can by entering a particularly fiery arena of hell, the New York culinary scene. But as his kitchen skills catch up with his ambitions, he's too blind to see the catastrophe looming in the afterlife. And the one person who knows Kostya must be stopped also happens to be falling in love with him. And it's set in the bustling world of New York restaurants and teeming with mouth-watering food writing. It's supposed to be a whirlwind romance, a heart-wrenching look at love and loss, and a ghost story about all the ways we hunger and how far we'll go to find satisfaction. So that sounds kind of interesting. And I love paranormal stuff, and I'm obsessed with the Food Network, so this should be very interesting to try. I'm thinking maybe I'll save it for October, possibly for the spooky season, because it sounds perfect for that time frame. So I'm very excited to read this. So this will be fun. And then for my birthday credit, I wasn't going to get this one because I gave the first book in the series 3 stars. I didn't love it. But then I heard better things about the second one. So I decided to give it a shot and got it for my birthday for free. And that's Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. Phantasma was not a hit for me, unfortunately. The first book really felt like it was a fan fiction of Caraval. And the ending was so predictable. And so I'm hoping this one's better. I've heard really good things about this. And I've heard that people who didn't love Phantasma love this better. So I'm hoping that'll be the same case for me. So I'm excited to give this one a go. And hopefully I'm going to like it. I know this follows his sister from the girl from the first book. And I don't want to hear too much about it. Well, I don't want to dive too much into the synopsis of it. Cause I feel like it's gonna take away my enjoyment a little bit. But I heard it takes place in Italy. And I've always wanted to go to Italy. So I think this is going to be a fun time. And I'm very excited to try it out. Maybe I'll say this for October as well. Then the last book I got for free with that extra credit that I got from waiting for Silver Elite for so long. So I'm excited for this one. This is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. And I love Kristen Hanna. I love The Nightingale. Winter Guard is my absolute favorite of hers. And I need to read more of her books. I still need to read The Four Winds. I have it, but I haven't read it yet. And then I've heard amazing things about this one, The Great Alone. And all I know is that it takes place in Alaska. It says, Alaska, 1974, unpredictable, unforgiving, untamed. For a family in crisis, the ultimate test of survival. And most of the books that I've read from this author have been very much a hit. Except for The Women. The Women I gave 3 stars to. Unfortunately, I didn't love The Women as much as most people. But most of her books I've really enjoyed. So I cannot wait to get to this one. I'm hoping very soon. I'm hoping to get to all these books very soon. That is, I need to read more of my TBR. But I am definitely excited to get to this one. And then I can tell you guys all my thoughts on it. Because I need to read more from Kristen Hanna. So I am so excited to read The Great Alone. And then that was all the books. But I do have a bookmark in here. It says, "Hi, I'm Mark." That is kind of funny. But interesting. Funny way to put that. Hi, I'm Mark. But that is all the books that is in these Book of the Month boxes. Let me see if I can stack them, because there's quite a bit. So these are all the books, that were in my Book of the Month boxes. Have you read any of these? If you have, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't yet read these but want to read these and want a buddy read with me, definitely let me know, because I'm always up for new buddy reads. If you don't feel like being chatty and you want to leave me something, why don't you leave me a flame emoji for the ghostwriter? And because I also know that the sprayed edges have flames on them. So give me a flame emoji. So thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. If you did, give me a huge thumbs up. If you want to see more bookish content from me, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below. And I'll see you all in the next one.